What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. As most of you know, I just went through the Ancient Power 10, and I wanted to document the fastest way, or what I thought was the fastest way, to push through the Ancient Power system, getting to number 11. Now, of course, we know the new stage of the game, each Chaos Trial unlocks based off of your current gear score. So depending on what your gear score is depends on how many maps you need to do. So under the current system, your experience will change from prestige to prestige based off of your RNG and your luck with drops. Really, the path you take is going to be completely up to you and could be slightly different each time. Now, we do know, of course, you need to go from floor 1 to floor 65 to be able to use Ancient Power again. Now, that being said, of course, remember this video and pushing through the Ancient Power levels and gaining the Ancient Power points is, first off, completely optional, and also it is definitely for the grinder. If you want to play the game casually, or if you have yet to reset Ancient Power your first time, your best bet is to push the highest onslaught floor you can. Do not reset right away the second you get to Ascension 250 and floor 65, as your gains will be actually non-existent. It's just not worth it for you to do it at that point. You want to be able to push your starting Ancient Power as high as you can. Now, of course, my minimum Ascension level now is 381 because I did the big Onslaught push, and the easiest way to get this number up is to push Onslaught floors. Once again, do not reset right at floor 65 if this is your first time through, as your starting Ascension level or minimum Ascension level is just going to be so low that by the time you go through the system again, you're going to have to do a serious Chaos 7 grind at the end of it just to get back up to Ascension level 250. Now, of course, this video once again is just playing the gear score game and trying to get through the Ancient Power system from floor 1 to floor 65 as quick as possible. Now, of course, once you get to Chaos 7, you're going to unlock Onslaught floor 55. Now, no matter what you do, floor 55 to 60 is always going to be 12 maps, and then floor 61 to 65 is always going to be 15 maps. So you've got 27 maps total you have to run once you do unlock and run your first Chaos 7, and any time savings that you can put together is going to happen prior to that. So it's going to happen between floor 1 and floor 55, and depending on the route you took. Now, I was able to get this done in 18 total maps prior to Chaos 7, and starting my last Chaos 7 map right now. Now, as you see, I am up to gear score 4021. Now, to get Chaos 7 unlocked, I did have to upgrade one piece. So I did upgrade these gloves. However, I didn't do any other upgrades in Chaos 6. Now, in Chaos 6, I did have to rerun Chaos 6 over and over again to get to the point where I had the gear score available to unlock Chaos 7. Once again, your experience will vary. It depends several things. First off, how much do you want to spend any gold? If you're willing to spend gold, it's going to go quicker. Also, minimizing the amount of shard expenditures you have had. Now, I personally upgraded Vicious Strikes, and I upgraded Mass Destruction. My next time through, I will not be upgrading Mass Destruction, as this saves you several million gold, and I will be using a different shard in its place. Now, I am still using a couple of hyper shards, for example, Radiant Critical Power. It's a boot shard. We all know there's a huge lack of boot shards. Plus, by not upgrading it, you're still giving your defenses in the area a 3% crit chance boost. So I'm still actually using that shard, but did not sink any gold to it. As we know, 2 million to upgrade that bad boy all the way is quite the chunk of change gone from the bank account. So minimize the amount of gold that you want to spend on upgrading not only your shards, but also your gear throughout the system. Once again, by spending gold, you are going to get through it quicker and have the lower amount of maps, but this is what it took me to get through to unlock Chaos 7 and get my first Chaos 7 trials done. That way I am able to jump right over to floor 65 or floor 55 and Onslaught. Now when you first reset, your first milestone is you're going to want to get to champion score 575 to unlock Chaos 2 trials. Now how the current unlocks work is they have a corresponding floor for Onslaught, however you do have to do one of the trials maps. So your first objective, reach champion score 575 and unlock Chaos 2. Your only option at this point is to do a Chaos 1 map. Now if you have really good luck on that one Chaos 1 run, you just might get to champion score 575 already, which would be pretty awesome. Now I did not have that sort of RNG luck, so I had to do one Chaos 1 trial, which then unlocked floor number 3 in Onslaught. So I switched over to Onslaught and did map 1, or the only map or the first map, pardon me, on floor number 3. So I did one Chaos 1 and one map of Onslaught, floor number 3, and that got me past the 575 champion score. Now I moved on to Chaos 2 and did one Chaos 2 trial. Now our next milestone is to get to champion score 900. Once again, it depends on your RNG luck. You might get there quick, it might take you a little bit longer. I didn't have very much luck all the way through this reset, so I had to do a few additional floors based off of what Cookie Binger has been doing. I did get quite a bit of info for this video and my first push from Cookie, and I do appreciate all the contributions he made here. Now, I had to do the one Chaos 2 trial, and then that unlocked floor number 4. Now, floor 4, of course, is a one-map floor, so I then switched over and did the one map on floor number 4. Still was not quite at the champion score 900 yet, so I went on to floor number 5 and did the first map of it. This got me over the hump. I was past champion score 900 and was able to move on to Chaos 3. So our next milestone we want to get to is champion score 1205. I did my one Chaos 3 map, which in turn unlocked Onslaught floor number 7. Floor 7 is once again a one map floor, so I went over to Onslaught floor 7 and did it. This did not quite get me to champion score 1205, so I went on and did one map of floor number 8 as well, and that pushed me past that 1205 champion score that made it so I could unlock Chaos 4. So moving on to Chaos 4, I did the one trial. We're now shooting for a champion score of 1740 to unlock Chaos 5. I did the one Chaos 4 map, which in turn unlocked floor number 10 in Onslaught, then switched over, did one floor number 10 and one floor number 11 to get past that 1740 champion score to unlock Chaos 5. Popped into Chaos 5, did the exact same thing. One Chaos 5 trial, 2 Onslaughts, as our newest goal now is to get to champion score 2670 and a little bit more of a spread to unlock Chaos 6 trials. Now, once again, the Onslaught floor unlocked for beating that one Chaos 5 and having the 1740 score unlocked floor 16. So I then did one map of floor 16 and one map of floor 17 to get to that 2670 mark and unlock Chaos 6 trials. Now, once I was in Chaos 6, I just stayed there as the corresponding floor, which is a champion score of 2670 and one Chaos 6 win, will unlock floor 37. At floor 37, you're not going to get the loot quite the same as what you would get in the Chaos trials, so I stayed in Chaos 6 and I did 4 Chaos 6 trials. So it was 18 total maps prior to this point. Of course, I do need to get one more map done to unlock floor 55, as once you're past the champion score of 3915, Chaos 7 is unlocked, but you do have to do one Chaos 7 win to unlock floor 55, so I came into Chaos 7 at that point. Now, to get through the system, I embraced my inner meta and went full on Dryad. I did use 3 different Dryads and 1 Monk. I used the Monk solely for Skyguard towers, and then 1 Dryad to DPS and drop trees, 1 for the bees, and 1 for the slimes. Now remember, when you're going through, the only thing you're looking for is champion score. So don't worry if you have the best gear on, as particularly in the current state of the game, the Dryad is easily available to power through everything with less than ideal stats. So once again, on my DPS Dryad, I used her also to put down trees. I didn't have any really ideal pieces as far as like a best in slot or the perfect stats. I did make sure that I always threw the healthiest totem that was available on the trees, as I did use the world trees as a blockade. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I did upgrade mass destruction, and I definitely won't my next time through, as I feel that was, although it's the best in slot shard, it just costs too darn much. So until I get the gold bonuses jacked up through the roof, I'll be leaving mass destruction on the sidelines. As I mentioned, and you see with this medallion here, I'm not using the best in slot. That's the best piece that dropped. All I cared about was gear score, and I was not going to rerun any maps to find a more optimal piece, as it just wasn't required. Same thing on the slimes. The slimes have the benefit of being able to use a mark or a medallion very, very effectively. I just threw on whatever I got. This has no defense speed on it. Slimes benefit greatly from defense speed. However, I did use that defense rate shard in the mix. But once again, not looking for optimal stats, just looking for the best in slot. As you see, 12,000 defense power on the slimes, 14,000 defense power on the bees, and that's what I'm jumping into for Chaos 7. The Sky Guards have the wonderful place of, if you use Vampiric Empowerment and Power Transfer on the Sky Guard, of course I combined it with Deadly Strikes, you can use a mark or a totem effectively in that tower. Now, of course, or pardon me, a medallion or a totem effectively. Now, of course, the medallion is going to get stronger DPS numbers. However, the totem is going to make it so the Skyguard takes the shots from dive bombers much, much easier. And basically what I did is every time I got a totem upgrade for my Dryad that was dropping the trees, I took that old totem and put it on my Skyguards throughout pretty much the entire playthrough. So hopefully this video helps everyone out in pursuing the conquest of more ancient power points and the quickest way to get there. So thank you very much for watching. Click that like button and please subscribe to the channel, and I will be back soon with more Dungeon Defenders 2. Thanks again. I'll see you next time.